So my point, I alluded to it earlier. I did the FaZe side before. The ugly point is the simple situation where, look, I made all those jokes, but you know what? If he gets to this point of the show, I actually do also feel for players who are in the contract prison, even if you take aside all the jokes of the money and all that. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, if you want to be pro, you want to be in the server, you want to be playing. Even if you're not playing, you want to be working towards something. And if you've had this taste, you could see, mate, the life came back into his eyes when he was at that turn. That's even why the FaZe ones were bomber. It seemed to me like he mega vibed with like Carrigan and Rain, and he was like fucking, he was on that shit where it's like, fuck, this could be like a new home for me, maybe. And all the fans all over me too. By the way, s1mple loves it when the fucking crowd's on his side. It looked to me like he was like getting his passion for CS back again. If you hear the story that supposedly 9 days before, I think it was the Dallas event, he just got a call and then he was like, this isn't a joke, he said this. He was like, right, I'll stop drinking alcohol and I'm going to start like grinding the game. That means actually his performance at this major wasn't even close to 100%. He doesn't have time to do that. And then he went to 2 lands back to back in America with 2 slightly different lineups. And then at the major, you never got the playoffs going. I always thought the other reason why it would have been interesting if they got to map 3 is because if FaZe got past that series, he could have like warmed up into the playoffs and gotten back, gotten the feel for the game again. Whereas he obviously didn't have the feel in that game. I mean, that fucking Mirage AWP miss is like, you wouldn't even believe that's possible from s1mple. Like s1mple hits those shots tripping over in his sleep, walking to the toilet with a piss, doesn't he? So I think the fact that he's in this scenario where, if people don't know, I'll tell you the little bit that people are missing about this story. Because he's done these 2 loan periods. He did a loan to Falcons last year for about a month or so, and then he did a loan now, probably a month or so. That's because supposedly what Navi's been doing, quite shrewdly, because he has this massive contract and the buyout's probably mental. And remember, if there's still like 4 or 5 months, you don't make the buyout 200k. You want to see if someone will gamble and then just sign him for 500k or something. Then you just get extra money, don't you? So I've heard what they do is the rental fee isn't like that. The rental fee is like 100k or something mental a month. So the point is, you only rent him for 1 month because you're like, listen, if it's awesome, then I'll commit. But otherwise, bit rich from artists at that point in time, So if that's true, the problem is I can see why Na'Vi want to use that strategy. Listen, you can keep renting him for another month if you want, but you're not going to buy him for fucking 100, 200k. That gets you 2 months. So the problem you have there is G2 said they're not going to sign him. FaZe doesn't look like they're going to sign him. Na'Vi doesn't look like they're going to use him. They're going to go with this Mazzy guy or whatever the fuck. So quite frankly, who's left? What teams are there left to join? So I actually do think he's in a really ugly situation right now. It's really hard to even like theory craft a team that he can go to that would be interesting for either party. So sadly, it starts to feel, and this is the biggest bomber of all for how the wage was going, like maybe he's just going to run out half this season and then just join when there's 2 months left to a team that's nice and cheap. But by then, won't all this hype have died back down? Won't we be starting the clock at 0 again? Will he be grinding? I don't know. So I feel like that's why it's ugly. It's not bad or good. It's just sort of in the middle, and I just feel uncomfortable. Not least because, yes, like you, Sean, I'm a massive s1mple stan. I want to see him back. I also want to see him back in his pomp where he's saying shit to people, just talking shit, doing that business.
We had it for like a couple weeks. Yeah. He was vibe. He actually looked like he enjoyed the game. And I agree with what you said. Like before that, I felt like he was kind of not really feeling CS2.
Yeah.
And right, like, from watching him play this guy grinded like a motherfucker. Yes. Like he was the GOAT because of how much work he put in. And if you lose that, you'll never get it back. But it seemed like he was really enjoying himself, especially with Carrigan and some of those little bits. Like, man, I don't know. It's so depressing to hear all that. Because, I think he needs the right environment to motivate him to play the game a lot more. Because he'll never get back to anything like his old form if he's like dipping his feet in the CS2 pool, just thinking it's gonna like magically happen. That'll never happen. But when he's forced to like boot camp with FaZe for weeks and grind the game, holy shit, he was looking really like. I mean, he was streaky. He was hot and cold, but his peaks were great. Like I'm not gonna lie, like the peaks were like old school s1mple. I felt like at times. And I agree, it wasn't his like 100% form based on what you just said. So it's just it's definitely pretty ugly. Good show.
What people may not be able to relate to about s1mple and people in positions like s1mple is that there are a billion things at any given second that are vying for s1mple's attention. And some of them are shinier than playing Counter-Strike. Okay, like if you're a man of s1mple's status, clout, even money and fame, you could be out doing a billion different things with other influencers, heads of countries, like heads of states. Like people want your presence around them. And so if whoever from, like, let's just say someone from Saudi Arabia wants to hang out with s1mple and fly him over for a weekend to Riyadh, like, and they're going to pay him some exorbitant amount, he's not going to play FaZe It that weekend, okay? But he needs a team that is actually going to be, you know, encouraging him, bringing him in, treating him like one of the boys, and then he can relive those kinds of experiences. That's why the come up on FaZe was actually pretty interesting. Like, he actually did better, you know, in stage 3 of the major than he did in stage 2 of the major. Like, he was powering up because he needs just more reasons to stay involved. And so, like, if he had a team for this 6 months, I actually now have been converted. I've been converted. I think s1mple could reclaim 95% of the power, maybe even 100 of what he once was. But if there is no team and he's just supposed to, through his own discipline, sit on FaZe It, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think he's gonna do it. Like, I just don't think that he is actually he's not gonna, like, tell his girlfriend to shoo away. He's not going to stop driving the Lambo. He's not going to stop hanging out with, like, princes, okay? He's not going to get off the cruise ship or the yacht. He's going to do all those things, okay? Like, all of us would want to do those things, okay? Like I don't want to, I would rather do a lot of things than play FaZe It, even as a professional player. You work so hard to gain the status that s1mple now has baked into the next 10, 20, maybe the rest of his life. And so he's reaping all of the rewards from that at all points in time, as long as there is no team that is facilitating his growth back to becoming the player that he once was. So yeah, it sucks that he's not going to actually take that time, probably. And I don't blame him. I don't think that he's going to sit on FaZe It for the next 6 months and play a donk level of pugs every single month. Like, he's got way too much in life to live for around him now. So for him to not be on FaZe immediately, one, we've already talked about FaZe. 2, I just don't think that. I think that s1mple's gonna then probably take a couple steps back, and maybe after his contract with Na'Vi completely ends, he's gonna have to take the steps forward once again. But it's just gonna be a relearning process once again.
Basically, we need you to do all the things you're doing now, but in CS. Like, the only boat you need to care about is if you're on DE Boat Season 2C. The only fucking car you need to care about is that one on Jeepathon 2K, isn't it? The only girl you want to be trying to talk to is if you hear someone with a high-pitched voice on comm speak and you go, "Are you Grill?" and it's just a 14-year-old boy in the end, and you go, "Oh, well," and just bang the enemy's head off, innit? And the only money that you need to worry about in the bank is start money, motherfucker. And it's a 16k cap in this game. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.